Dave Tack,
Griffin McElroy.
would you say that you have something of a green thumb?
I have two of them, one on each hand.
Oh yeah, well I've got 6 of them.
What?
Yeah, my hands are just like a big weird spaghetti octopus thing.
This is gross.
Yeah, it's the worst. I can't do anything with these dumb broken hands. Whoa! We are playing Grow Home, which is a bizarre little game that I've been playing for the past day or so. That was actually developed by Ubisoft Reflections as sort of from what I understand, sort of a test of procedurally generated like animation tools. Here I am riding around on a branch of the star plant, you know, a branch of the star plant, guiding it, flying with it, guiding it into a power rock, and then when it collides with the power rock, it'll make the star plant grow. So this is Grow Home. A lot of phallic imagery, a lot of green phallic imagery. So take that for what you will. Look at this guy, though, right?
What is he doing?
Why?
What's his motivation? Really?
Your motivation is to grow the star plant to 2,000 meters. That's like your goal on Earth. You play the botanical utility droid, Bud, who receives orders from Mom. I don't know what MOM stands for. But yeah, it's sort of a fun little like exploration game. You have control over both your hands, so you can use those to climb. That's like the sort of the main mechanic.
It's just like in real life.
Yeah.
I have control.
And I have control over my weird spaghetti hands. And then you use that to climb the plant to get to these like buds, and then you can use those buds to fly around and explore. Here I've got a magic flower that I picked that lets me float around. That's very helpful.
I'm getting like Mario Galaxy and Zelda vibes from this.
No, not so much Zelda. Maybe Mario Galaxy is kind of accurate, but like the main thing is you're just so goddamn floppy. You're flopping around all over the place, making a fool out of yourself. Here I'm dropping the pieces of this teleporter. It's all very sort of very physical. By opening up those teleporters, you can sort of create restore points throughout the map, because most of the world of Grow Home is vertical. You're climbing this plant, sort of Jack and the Beanstalk style, as you try to get to these different buds that grow on the plant. Sometimes, so the buds will only grow for like a certain distance, and if you don't make it to the rock, you have to find a new bud, but whenever you grow one of these stalks, more buds pop out of it. So here I've just sort of solved this section of the world and grown my my plant into the next section. So now I can climb this thing into a new area that I haven't explored yet.
And you said it's procedurally generated, so
well, the plant
sort of?
the plant is, right? Okay. Like however you steer it, you are essentially creating pathways and bridges and ramps and new sort of like environmental objects that you can climb around on, or in the case of those little special spring pads that you can bounce around on. Traversal is like, it's funny. I heard about this game actually from a tweet from Bennett Foddy, the guy who created the developer of QWOP and Super Pole Riders, like kind of fun, clumsy games. And I actually think that was appropriate. That's where I heard of it from, because this game is kind of clumsy. Like it's kind of, I mean, look at him. He's just sort of, what is he even doing right now?
He's doing his best.
It's yeah. I mean, it's really charming and really fun. He makes these squeaks and beeps that are very Wall-E-esque. But this mechanic is actually really cool, because after you've solved a level, you can sort of look down at your crazy botanical creation. You can twist vines around one another and create these sort of virtual mazes. And then there's some really intense cliffhanger action.
Look at that
going on. Climbing is really easy. Basically, you just like whatever direction you're moving the stick in, like whatever direction you're moving your character in, that's where your free hand goes. So it's literally just as easy as tapping right trigger and left trigger over and over again. So yeah, one of the great things is just like the world itself is kind of a playground. You saw those crystals I've been picking up. By picking those up, you can get new abilities for your character. But the abilities are like, the first one you get is jump. Oh. So like kind of an essential one.
Right.
The next one I get here, actually, I think in a minute or so, is the ability to zoom the camera in and out. So that's like his special ability.
These are weird abilities.
Is even like a small amount of camera control. The crystals are great, actually, because sometimes they'll be like embedded in a wall and ceiling, and so you'll grab onto them to pull them out, and you'll go flying off the cliff with them because they just sort of come plunking out. Like it's the reason the game was developed, to test out these like animation tools, and it also makes the game like really kind of hilarious. I don't know what Ubisoft could possibly use these for. Like, I don't think that, I don't know, the next Tom Clancy Ghost Recon game is going to be this floppy.
No.
I don't,
probably
not that that's in development at Reflections necessarily, but yeah, it's one of the cool things though is that there are these different flowers that are sort of hidden all over the place, and the flowers can do different stuff. I don't want to give too much away. This is sort of, I think, supposed to be kind of a bite-sized experience, so I don't want to like spoil the whole thing. It's only $8 on Steam right now, so kind of a super budget price game. But yeah, the world is just kind of full of these different surprises. Every time you get to a new area, you never really know sort of what playground toys it's going to have going for it. In addition to all the flora in the world, there's also some fauna. Haven't found really anything to do with those guys yet. Here I'm just looking around. This cave is chock full of crystals.
You just yank them off the walls and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and like as simple as that progression mechanic is, like I'm kind of interested to see what the next thing could possibly be. Like control over audio, like music volume. Like what new exciting superpowers is Bud going to unlock next? I'm half joking when I say that. I am kind of hoping that
that would
like
be kind of cool.
In the mix. So yeah, there's animals that you can
There's a little guy.
play around with too. I'm just gonna grab him and just sort of give him a robot hug.
Oh. Well, he doesn't look like he's into it, I have to be honest.
I'm going to drown him.
I can't swim.
I'm going to drown him. You're coming with me, bird, to your death. Oh, yeah, you know I see that cliff.
No.
Time to learn to fly.
No.
You beautiful, beautiful avian bastard.
Somebody's got to nudge him out of the nest.
Didn't work.
Oh. Oh, well.
But look at that. That's cool. Like,
yeah.
the idea of... I really do think I mentioned Jack and the Beanstalk sort of offhand earlier, but I think that might like be a pretty big source of inspiration, just because like looking down, you can see everything. Like you can always see the crazy vines that there he is, showing me his butt. Thank you. You can always look down and sort of see this twisting, bizarre vine that you have, this beanstalk that you've created at any time, and it's really very striking. And the higher up you get, just sort of the more bizarre the thing looks. I'm gonna kill this bird if it's the last thing I do. Bye. Oh man, I was hoping I would get some sort of points for that, but
are there points?
No. But I thought maybe crystals. I could discover the points system. So this is a flower that's just kind of flying around. So yeah, not everything like serves a purpose. It's just like silly stuff for you to wiggle around on.
Yeah, there's something pulling you forward, right? Beans going up to the next area, but inside the area, it's just sort of goofing around.
Yeah, I mean, you could... I actually, this might be like an interesting speedrun game. I got like speedruns on the Dome since I watched all the Awesome Games Done Quick stuff. But yeah, I mean, you could just like... just run your way through, you know, connecting the vines to those power crystals, which is sort of like the core mechanic of the game. You also have to, at some point, like one of the main objectives that you get told right at the very beginning of the game is you have to find these seeds to like repopulate, reoxygenate Earth. Okay. So I'm not sure when I'm going to find those. But yeah, I mean, it is a experiment. It is an experimental game in every sense of the word. So like if you're picking it up expecting it to be like a floppy Banjo-Kazooie, I wouldn't like hold out your hope for that. But I don't know, I think it is like the procedural animation stuff is genuinely very cool and hilarious. So
it's charm.
Yeah,
a lot of what it seems to be.
Yeah.
Is the game built on charm.
And I know that doesn't do it for everyone, but if you are the type of person for whom that does it for, well, God, it's also very frustrating sometimes. But if that's if that's your jam, I mean, it's my jam. I like a nice little. I would call this a floppy amuse-bouche.
Okay.
And if that's something that you're into, then yeah, you could do much worse. There's a sheep. I'm gonna kill that sheep now. I mean, you can make it as hardcore as you want the experience to be. Later, come on.
Sheep.
Yeah. Oh, that look in its eyes as it went over. Now I feel bad.
You mean bad?
You're the worst person.
I am.